Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Is this visible?
Yeah. Do you want to start on just the main ArtSwap page?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So if you go to the main arts.wa.gov, it'll lead you to our front page. And here you will see that one of the main topics on the main page is the WAM grants. So you can click here to go to the grants, or you can also go up here to programs under community, wellness, arts, and the military. This is our landing page, but if you scroll down, you'll see wellness, arts, and military grants. You click that. And this is the landing page for the grants. So it'll have information for a SAP grant and GOS grant, but if you scroll, this button will lead you to the general operating support grant. And here we are.
Perfect. So we can go ahead and hit apply because all of the same information is on the application.
Okay,
Um,
so yep, top button, click here to apply, and we're here.
Perfect. So this grant is up to $25,000 with no matching funds required. Whether you receive, if you're asking for the full amount of $25,000, um, whether you're going to get the full amount, it depends on the amount of high scoring applications that we have. So I'll just give an example. Last year we had, I want to say 38 or 39 full applications. We awarded grants to 35 of them. And so the grants were not the full amount of what folks were requesting because we had to break it down to make sure that we funded the qualified applications. So just please do bear that in mind as we go through this process. So definitely ask for everything that you need, but be prepared that you might not be awarded the full amount. And if you aren't awarded the full amount, it doesn't necessarily mean that there was a problem with your application. It might just mean that we had too many qualified applications and not enough funding to go around. So we opened on August 20th. We closed. The application deadline is October 1st at 11:59 p.m. We can't take anything after that. So please make sure that you get your applications in on time. Because once October 1 hits, applications will be scored. There's a panel that decides who gets awarded, and we begin notification starting on December 1st. Now that doesn't mean that you are going to hear something directly on December 1st. It just means that we start making notifications for both of our grants. So if you haven't heard anything by mid-December, that would be the time when to reach out to me or one of us to inquire. But so just want you all to be aware of that. And so we cover activities from July 1 of this year through June 30th of next year. So eligibility, folks who are eligible to apply are nonprofit organizations with 501c3, state, Washington state, tribal, state, or municipal government agencies, or national nonprofit organizations with a chapter in Washington. So there are a few folks who have done that in the past. So we don't grant to individuals. We don't grant to for-profit businesses. We don't grant to political or advocacy organizations. And then we don't grant to organizations seeking to fund projects or programs that promote religious content or observance. So the requirements of what we look for: a minimum of 2 years in continuous operation. Although if you paused due to the pandemic, that's okay. We want one professional staff trained or willing to get trained to work with military connected individuals in non-clinical settings. So that's the whole thing of this grant is having art programming in non-clinical settings, working with military connected individuals. Um,
Hmm.
and then a minimum of one professional staff member who has experience managing arts programs. And then this one is really important. Most of the denials that we've had in the past are because of this last bullet point. So, arts programming refers to structured activities that serve military connected individuals and communities, conducted under the supervision of staff, occur on a consistent schedule, and yield quantifiable results. So, um, programs and services that are a one time event or mainly consist of discounts or passes, don't have any sort of ongoing support, or don't align with our mission statement aren't going to be eligible. So if you are having something that, hey, we've got this annual event that we do, and if you give us funding, we're going to give military connected folks a discount or a free pass, that doesn't qualify as ongoing arts programming. So just something to be aware of. Um, so everyone needs to have a statewide vendor number, and most of the folks who have done business with the state have gotten them, have them. If you don't have one, you click on click on the link, and there's one right here on the application requirements. And then as we scroll down, there's one that you can click on as well within the actual application. So, all right, if you're a nonprofit, board approved operating budgets with actuals for income, program expenses for the last 2 years of operation, um, IRS letter of determination, most recently filed Form 990, and then recently filed tax forms, so 1040, 1065, 1120, or 1120S, depending on where you are on that. So use of funds. So your funds you can only get reimbursement for funds incurred between July 1st of this year to June 30th. So anything outside of that period isn't eligible for reimbursement. So this is a reimbursement grant, so you can submit up to 3 reimbursement requests or submit one for the full amount, whichever. But we do want everyone to submit reimbursements by June 15th of 26 so that we can make sure to get you paid by the close of the funding period. So by the end of the fiscal year, June 30th. And we'll send the full reimbursement instructions. It's all done through Submittable if and when you receive your award. So we ask that everyone tracks expenses, keep clear records, and provide additional appropriate timely documentation if requested, if there's an audit of our funds, because we are giving these funds through taxpayer dollars. There always is the chance that we might be audited. And if that happens, then the auditors would reach out to you. So please keep good records. And then final report. So we ask all grant recipients need to complete a final report by July 31st, and that'll come from us through Submittable again. It's a fairly simple final report process, just talking about how the process was for you, upload any media files to share with us as well. And then grant funds, you can't use grant funds for regranting, right? So if you receive a grant, you can't use our grant to give another grant to individuals or regrant them as scholarships. Renovation, remodeling, or restoration of new construction or new construction of buildings, purchase permanent equipment with cost of $5,000 and up, or real property. That can't be used for travel outside of Washington. And then I already spoke about costs or activities outside of the grant period. Previous losses or debts, our grant won't cover. Costs or activities that have already received state appropriations. So if you got a grant from another organization or already being funded from a state agency, you can't use our funds in conjunction with that. And then supporting specific events that does not also provide military connected programming. So if you are a program that does a bunch of different ongoing arts stuff for non-military connected, you can't use it for that. You can only use this funding for your military connected arts programming. All right. I already said we're not going to make exceptions to the timeline, so please make sure that you get your application done. Everything is done through Submittable. We recommend Chrome, Firefox, or Safari as web browsers. It's 2025. I think we can all agree that Internet Explorer is garbage. So don't use that. Don't use that through Submittable. It doesn't work as well. And then, when the application closes, they're reviewed and a final termination will be made, and we'll begin making notifications and making all of you aware of next steps starting on December 1st. So, all right, you can go ahead and keep scrolling down. Our contact information, if you need it, if you don't already have it, please feel free to take those down. It's also in the application as well. This is all part of the application. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And then there is an appeals process. So if your application is unsuccessful and you want to appeal that and you feel like you should have gotten this grant, scroll down a little further, Gabby, please. There is an appeals process that you can use that's found there. And the appeals process, a link to that will also be sent out if you get an email saying that your application was unsuccessful as well. All right.
All right. Yep.
Now we're diving in. Now we're diving into the good stuff here.
Oh, I gotta sign in.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So this is all the same information. So
Yep.
we have it. We have everything put in multiple times for you guys to make sure that there are no questions about the qualifications and what we're looking for. All right. So here's where we get into it. So the applicant information, right? You tell us who you are, your legal name, whether it's an individual or organization, right? Organization type, the name of your organization right there, physical address, and then keep going. County, legislative district. So this one is really important because we ask all of our grantees to write letters to their state representatives. Because we're a tax funded dollar, we receive everything through the legislative budget. It's important for us to connect and important for you all to connect with your legislators to let them know the impact that your program is having. So that way we can continue to receive funds for our programming. All right, here's where you put in your artistic discipline. If it's multiple, this one you're able to put more than one in there if you're doing multiple things. Or there's an other option if none of them fit that as well. And then you'll able to write in what it is.
Okay.
All right, and now we have a statewide vendor number. If you have done business with state of Washington before, you have that, put it in. If you don't have it, you can hit NA. You can type in NA right there and then register for your SWV number. There's the process right there. It's really, really simple. And if there are issues or questions, that pay registration at ofm.wa.gov is a great resource. And if you don't know, if you have one and you don't know it, there's the vendor lookup right there. All right, we can keep going. So you can just enter in all of your EIN, UEI, all of that good stuff. Oh, you keep scrolling. There we go. Yep, we can keep going. ADA compliance. So we want to make sure that all of the organizations we support comply with the ADA Act. So and the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. So there's a spot down here where you can certify that you are in compliance. And keep going. conflict of interest. So if someone in your organization or you have a friend, good friend, or a family member with Artois, or you know someone at your office is on the board um, at Artois, you just click yes, and then you would write who that person is and your relationship to them. It will not affect. It doesn't mean that you won't be considered for funding. It won't hinder that funding. It's just all for transparency. Um, in the past, we've had panelists who have known somebody in grant applications, and that person just leaves the room while the rest of the panel decides whether or not that group gets funding or that group or individual gets funding or not. All right. So authorizing official. So there's a lot of different folks to put down in here. If you're a smaller organization and you are the only one managing the grant, you can just put your name in there over and over again. But I know for some of these bigger organizations or national organizations with a state that has a chapter here in the state, this stuff is important to put down. You know, who is the authorizing individual if it's not you, so we can make sure that we send the funding to the right place. And then primary grant contract, who's the person that's going to be working with us and connecting with us, who's going to get all of the contract stuff, all the grant communication. If it's different, make sure that you put their information down. This is really going to help us and you guys really streamline the process to make sure that everything gets done in a timely manner. Project coordinator, again, if it's someone different, same thing. We'll streamline it, make it as easy as possible. All right, so here's a project information form. This is here pretty soon. This is where we kind of start to get into the scored portion. So what is it you're doing? And then what have you done with your program history? Right? So what are the different types? And if you run out of space here, that's totally okay. If you fill it, that's fine. If you don't fill it, that's fine. It just, we want some examples of things that your organization has done, ongoing programming that you've done in the past. All right, and here's where we get into the scored piece. Okay, so really try and be as descriptive as you can. So describe in detail what you're going to use these funds for. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Like what kind of programming are you doing? How are these funds going to help with that, right? And then are you launching? If you're newly launching a veteran or military connected based arts programming during this, that's okay. Here's your spot to describe what it is that you're trying to do and what your plan is. Again, be as descriptive as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then what types of military connected individuals this program serve? You can click one, you can click them all. That's totally okay. And then how does your organization ensure that programming is culturally responsive and relevant to military connected individuals? So like, we want you to describe strategies, community engagement efforts that you've done in the past, things that you're trying to do. Do you have staff who is trained to work with military connected individuals, right? And then we also provided an option. If you scroll down a little more, you can submit a video response to the question above. If it would be easier to record a video, you can post it here. And then in this comments section, you can just see it says, if you plan on submitting a video, type see attached video. So whichever one of those, you're not going to get more points for one versus the other. It's just an option to kind of streamline that and make that a little bit easier for you all. And then we roll into design and delivery. So we want to know if you have the capacity to deliver the programming outlined in the application. So we've had folks in organizations in the past, start really strong and then connect with us midway or towards the end and say, hey, we don't have any way to spend this money anymore. So we have to stop. And that's not good for the organization. It's certainly not good for our grants because we can't turn around and give that grant to somebody else. Right. So put your capacity to deliver these programs in the application. That's going to be really, really important. And then tell us the structure of your arts programming. Is it a workshop, drop-in sessions, performances, and how they support your goals, the goals of your organization? And then we want to know how frequently you offer these arts programming. Is it weekly, monthly, quarterly, occasionally, or you don't offer them at all yet, but you're planning on it, right? And then who facilitates? So you have paid staff members, teaching artists, volunteers. Who is it that helps run these programs? And then we want to know how they are trained or experienced in engaging military connected communities. So different ways. There's no one right way of being experienced and engaging this community. It could be like you have one of your teaching artists or one of your instructors is a veteran or is a spouse of a veteran or active duty or whatever it might be, or maybe it's none of those things, but you've been trained on working with military connected communities. So any one of those different things, but please, again, be descriptive. Put as much information in here as you can. And then this optional piece, this is just an opportunity for you guys to upload any documents, so brochures, videos, samples, staff bios, whatever that you want us to know or the panelists to know as they're considering your application. It's not it's kind of a little bonus piece, right? It's not gonna you're not going to get dinged if you don't do that. That's totally fine. But it just, all of the information that you can give us is going to better set your application up to be successful. And then access and reach, right? So how does your project address the needs of the counties that you serve? And what strategies will you use to ensure inclusive accessibility of participation for all community members? How are you connecting with your community, right? How are you connecting, getting the word out, and working with the individuals? So that's something that we want to know as well. And then we'll dive into the budget here, the budget form. Underneath the budget, 15 points. Funds must benefit military connected individuals. So here you can use the workshop, you can use this worksheet below to break down how the 25,000 or whatever you request will be used. And because this is general operating support, you can use these funds to like pay for supplies, pay for rent of a facility that you're going to be using, pay your teachers, pay your staff, utilities, insurance. So it can work out in a lot of different ways for you to use this funding. So you have the opportunity to like be creative. And then if you scroll down a little bit lower, um, there's a few instructions, right? So enter numbers only. Decimals are okay. Don't enter dollar signs. The total is supposed to auto-populate. Sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, and you filled out your budget sheet like the best that you can, you're not using dollar signs, and it still doesn't auto-populate, you're not going to get dinged for that. This sheet, it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. So just fill it out to the best of your ability.
Yep.
And again, be as descriptive as you can. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, here's the amount, and then you can describe cost below. If there's more stuff you need to add, or you want to give us more context of what you're asking for in the funds, here's your spot to do it.
Yep. And as long as you have that total amount in the grant amount requested, again, if the budget sheet doesn't auto-populate it, no stress.
Yep. Yep. And now we're here to file upload. So this is everything that we're asking folks need to upload. So organization budget, IRS determination, if you are a 501c3. I didn't make that one required because some folks are, they might be a tribe, a state agency, a municipal or county organization who don't have that determination letter, that's fine. But if you are a 501c3, that piece is required. Tax forms,
Mm-hmm.
most recently filed, and then we we want you guys to certify that your organization is not applying for other grants to support the same project expenses and services. So, our other Arts Walk grants. Okay, we don't like if you apply for another Arts Walk grant, that's totally fine. That's within your purview, within your right to do, but it cannot be used for the same project or for the same programming.
Yep.
And I think we are at the end here. So I'm going to kind of open it up. We're going to open it up for questions. So if you have questions, myself, Gabby, Dania, we can all do our best to answer those. So you can just hop on chat. Yeah, Cindy, what's up?
So once you've got the budget prepared and if you're granted, um, is that budget somewhat flexible if some things don't work out, as you planned? Can
Yes.
the funds be transferred to a different category?
Yeah, as long as it's towards working with military connected individuals and you need to make a change to your budget, that's totally fine. Just send us an email and let us know what the change is.
Okay.
And yeah, that's no issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I just have a question about your granting period. Since it starts mid 2005 and goes to mid 2006 or 2026, it will it retroactively cover activities that have already happened?
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
if you're funded, yeah, you can definitely use them for that.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that. That's rare.
We have a question in the chat from Julie. Does any funding for this program come from the National Endowment for the Arts?
It
No.
does not. All of our funding, WAM is 100% funded through the state. Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
So that brings up another question, this UEI number,
Mhm.
which my organization is having some trouble getting. And if we receive no federal funding, why do we need that?
So that is part of our reporting that we have to do. I will do a little bit of research on that to make sure that that is a requirement or not. And if it's not, I'll update the application and make it not required.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, I see a hand. Nora, did you?
I do have a question. Okay, I work with Pink Cove Water Festival. We are a one-day event, but we are the only Native American canoe racing off the reservations and in this region. And we would like to look at getting some assistance to bring in a veteran um, carver, a native carver, and
Mhm.
have them do a carving demonstration during the festival. And we do serve we're on Whidbey Island, so we serve the NAS military base. There's a lot of families, and we have volunteers, and we go directly to uh, NAS Whidbey to get volunteers from them as well. So,
Okay.
uh, I just want to know, is there a time limit? Because this project would just be on that one day that we're there, and possibly 2 days.
Okay.
We're just mainly one day, but we could do maybe 2 days. Is
Yeah.
there a
So
time limit?
it has to be within from July 1, 2025 through June
Okay.
30th. So as long as it takes place during that time,
Uh-huh.
you're okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Hmm.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Any other questions? And if you can't think of any right now and something comes up later, you are all more than welcome to connect with myself, Dania, Gabby,
Thank
at
you.
any point in time. And we will do what we can to work with everybody.
have a question. I'm Wanda. I'm just taking Hannah's place today. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
I think you've answered it, but I just feel more comfortable asking it.
Sure.
We do not have to be a specific art specific program. We just need to be a program that incorporates the arts, correct?
Correct.
To apply for this. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
did a very good job explaining, so thank you. I just wanted to
Thank you.
verify.
No problem. No problem. I know it's and sometimes I go off on tangents and babble and everything like that. Gabby and Dania will confirm that, but so at any point if I am talking too much and not making sense, let me know. I
More
don't get
info
offended.
Yeah, more information is always better than less information. So I appreciate that. And I'm taking Hannah's place today because she's currently working with soldiers today.
Oh,
So
awesome.
Right on.
yeah, thank you.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Any other questions? Excellent. Well, it's always an online Zoom meeting or webinar is always good when you get everything done and it ends early. So
Yay.
I'll give you all the rest of the time back. And yeah, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And anything else comes up, please feel free to connect with us.
Thank you guys for your time. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.